take a look. 19 drug charges and 1 weapons charge. They say they were investigating a sexual assault.
Did Chumlee really get life imprisonment? Is there any truth to these claims, or are they just baseless rumors? By the end of this video, you'll have all the facts. But while Chumlee's legal troubles were serious, the real shocker in the Pawn Stars world isn't just about him. It's about who filed the lawsuit. Of all people, it was Rick's own mother, Joanne, who took legal action against the Pawn Stars team. Think about that for a second. This isn't some disgruntled ex-employee or a random outsider looking for a payday. This is family. The very foundation of Pawn Stars has always been the idea of a close-knit, hard-working crew: Rick, Corey, the late Richard Old Man Harrison, and of course Chumlee, bringing the laughs.
Sounds like a train.
Fans saw them as more than just business partners. They were family first. But now, the cracks that were once hidden behind the scenes have turned into a full-blown legal war. So, what really happened? Why would a mother sue her own son over the very business their family built together? Let's break it all down. On March 9th, 2016, Pawn Stars fan favorite Austin Lee Russell, better known as Chumlee, found himself in serious trouble.
We broke the story on the website that Chumlee was arrested during a sexual assault investigation.
They ended up finding drugs, they found marijuana, they found what they are saying is meth at this time, and they also found a gun as well.
Arrested on drug and weapon charges, his shocking downfall left fans of the hit reality show completely blindsided. For years, Chumlee had been a lovable goof on screen, but behind the scenes, things took a dark turn. His future hung in the balance as legal battles unfolded. In this video, we're diving deep into what really happened, the charges he faced, and where he stands today. It all started when Las Vegas police raided Chumlee's home, acting on a search warrant obtained after reports that he sexually assaulted and harassed a girl. What they found was even more shocking: meth, marijuana, and multiple loaded weapons.
It's unclear exactly what that stems from, but that's the charge that they gave him, that he should not have had that gun.
News of his arrest spread like wildfire, leaving Pawn Stars fans in disbelief. How could one of the show's most entertaining cast members get caught up in something so serious? As more details emerged, the situation only got worse.
According to the Associated Press, he was being held on 19 drug possession charges and 1 weapon charge, with his bail set at $62,000.
Chumlee was hit with 20 charges, which included drug and weapon possession, along with allegations of assault and violence. If convicted on all counts, he was looking at a potential 30-year prison sentence. Fans were left anxiously waiting for updates as his legal drama played out. Then, in June 2016, Chumlee finally appeared in court, where he struck a deal with prosecutors. But what exactly did that deal include, and how did it change his fate? Let's break it all down.
Terms of a plea deal that'll keep him from serving prison time.
So he agreed to plead guilty to 1 count of drug possession and 1 count of weapon possession. This plea bargain spared him a long prison sentence, instead landing him 3 years of probation and mandatory community service. He was also required to undergo counseling and regular drug testing. Reactions to the plea deal were mixed among Pawn Stars fans. Some were relieved that he avoided severe punishment, while others felt he wasn't held accountable enough for his actions.
Put that damn phone down.
Whoops.
Don't whoops me.
Despite the controversy, Chumlee seemed determined to turn his life around and make the most of his second chance.
I'm just saying, it's $100 million. Maybe you guys should get some money together, and I'll go down and get it, and you guys can buy me some tickets too.
Throughout it all, he's been candid about his mistakes, openly discussing how his legal troubles impacted his life and the steps he's taken to ensure he doesn't repeat them. Looking back, it's clear that this was a tough chapter not just for him, but for his fans as well. However, Chumlee has shown resilience, making the necessary changes to move forward and continue entertaining audiences.
All right, I'll give you $600 for it.
All right, man, you're tough, man.
No, you're tough.
All right.
I'm gonna get fired for this. I just bought something for what it's probably worth.
No, man, I think you guys are gonna do great with this.
Fans were curious to know what would happen to him next. Would he be found guilty? And if so, what kind of punishment would he face? His court battle stretched on for years, dragging through multiple delays and plea negotiations despite his legal team's efforts. At one point, Chumlee and his attorneys argued that the search warrant for his home was based on false information, making it invalid. However, the judge ruled otherwise, allowing the case to proceed. Chumlee admitted to making poor choices and expressed deep regret for his actions. He assured fans that he was working hard to turn things around and showed his gratitude by promising to continue his role on Pawn Stars.
This is a catwalk, Rick, trust me.
It's a cakewalk is
no,
what
it's
you're...
a catwalk because cats walk so easy and when they fall, they land on their feet, just like me.
His legal troubles, however, came at a steep cost. Following his arrest, Chumlee had to post a hefty $62,000 bail to secure his release. On top of that, he was responsible for his legal defense, adding to the financial and emotional toll of the situation. Despite the overwhelming stress, he managed to gather the necessary resources to fight the charges, eventually securing a plea deal that kept him out of prison.
Ordered him to undergo counseling and stay out of trouble into 2019 to get the felony charge dismissed. If he violates the deal, Chumlee faces 2 to 5 years in prison.
Chumlee's experience serves as a reminder that legal troubles can have serious consequences, especially for those in the public eye with much to lose. His case impacted not just his personal life, but also his financial stability and professional reputation. Despite it all, Chumlee has remained one of Pawn Stars' most beloved cast members. His laid-back personality and quick wit continue to make him a fan favorite, and his legal troubles haven't diminished his popularity. In fact, many supporters have praised him for his resilience and determination to move forward.
Basically, make a deal on these swords and get him now or don't get him. The guy was in a hurry. He had to get off to a barbecue.
The legal battle was undoubtedly a difficult chapter in his life, but Chumlee managed to weather the storm and maintain his standing with fans. Determined to learn from his mistakes, he has made positive changes and stayed focused on his future.
This sword dates from the late 14, early 1500s.
Stretch a little bit. Oh, I've been making some good moves.
In the years since his legal troubles, he has continued to appear on the show, and his fan base has only grown.
I'm not going to congratulate you. It does take skill to win in a slot machine.
If you ever need my help, I'm there for you.
At one point, Chumlee faced the possibility of a staggering 30-year prison sentence for drug and weapon charges. However, by negotiating a plea deal, he avoided serious time and instead agreed to 3 years of probation, community service, and drug counseling.
Russell's attorneys say he pleaded guilty last week to felony weapons and misdemeanor drug charges.
His case is a reminder of how unpredictable the legal system can be. Outcomes aren't always easy to predict, and even the most publicized cases can take unexpected turns. Given the nature of the allegations and the outcome of the case, it was highly unlikely that Chumlee would have received a life sentence. Still, his legal troubles marked one of the darkest chapters in his life. However, rather than letting the experience define him in a negative way, he used it as a turning point, an opportunity to learn, grow, and come out stronger on the other side.
All right, I think I can figure that out.
Since putting his legal issues behind him, Chumlee has made significant strides in both his personal and professional life.
You're that guy, man. I got the best trade offer ever. Unlimited bitches at any given moment's notice. What can you do?
I'll give you 3 cents.
While the ordeal undoubtedly set him back in some ways, he turned it into motivation to better himself and pursue new ambitions. Instead of dwelling on past mistakes, he channeled his energy into building a brighter future.
Hello, welcome to Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard. This candy shop is going to be ran by my brother and myself. It's our new business venture.
One of Chumlee's biggest successes post-trial has been his ventures into the business world. He's proven that he's more than just a reality TV personality. He's got a sharp entrepreneurial mindset.
You see, we have a sea of saltwater taffy to choose from. We have an array of many different bulk candies.
In addition to his well-known candy store in Las Vegas, he launched a clothing line called the Big Chum Theory, and even entered the booming cannabis industry with his brand Chumlee's 7 Stars. These businesses not only showcase his creativity and drive, but also allow him to stay connected with his fans in fresh and exciting ways. Beyond business, Chumlee has also dedicated time to giving back. He's been actively involved in philanthropic efforts, using his platform to support causes that matter to him.
I've already lost 38 pounds on my pre-op diet. They recommend you do it for a couple weeks, but I've been doing it for about 5 or 6 weeks now.
He's an outspoken advocate for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, an organization that provides after-school programs and resources for kids. He's also lent his support to the American Heart Association, helping raise awareness and funds for heart disease research. Looking back, there's no doubt that his legal troubles were a major setback, including his health.
Most of us who get that way eat out of boredom or comfort or both, and you still mentally are in that place for a long time until you train yourself.
But instead of letting them define him, Chumlee took responsibility for his actions, made necessary changes, and focused on moving forward. His story is a reminder that mistakes don't have to be the end of the road. What matters is how you bounce back.
This is not a joke at all. I would do things like, I'll go to the post office and drop the stuff off, and I had this special tree I would park under and I would take like a 20, 30-minute nap.
While Pawn Stars fans may never know every detail of what happened behind the scenes during his legal battle, one thing is clear: Chumlee has managed to turn things around. He's still entertaining millions, still hustling, and still proving that setbacks don't have to be permanent. And are you aware that after these shocking police raid and Chumlee's legal troubles, Rick Harrison has finally broken his silence?
Owners of the pawn shop saying while they don't have details, they're here to help Chumlee however they can.
And that's not it. He even started exposing the harsh reality of fame and the deep fractures within the Pawn Stars family.
That submarine you always wanted.
That is the dumbest looking submarine I ever seen in my life.
One of the biggest bombshells shaking the Harrison family isn't just Chumlee's legal woes, it's a lawsuit that has turned Rick's personal life into a courtroom battlefield. And the most shocking part? The person suing him is none other than his own mother, Joanne Harrison. At first glance, it might seem like a classic case of family disputes over money. But dig a little deeper and you'll find a legal battle filled with claims of betrayal, power struggles, and a past that's now coming back to haunt them. For years, Pawn Stars fans saw the Harrisons as a tight family unit. Rick, his son Corey, the late Richard Old Man Harrison, and of course, Chumlee, who always brought the laughs. They ran gold and silver pawn shop like a well-oiled machine, giving off the impression that nothing could shake their bond. But behind closed doors, tensions had been simmering. And now, those cracks have erupted into a full-blown legal earthquake, one that could change everything we thought we knew about the Harrison family.
There's like $5 on this thing.
There's 7. Merry Christmas.
This is classic Corey. $7. I guarantee you, that's what he had in his wallet.
The drama started in 2018 when Old Man Harrison passed away. As co-owner of the pawn shop, his 49% share went to his wife Joanne, making her an official business partner alongside Rick, who already controlled the other 51%. Simple, right? Not quite. According to Joanne, her stake in the business wasn't always handled fairly. She insists she wasn't fully aware of what she was agreeing to, but those papers effectively handed over control of the shop to Rick and Richard. For years, she didn't challenge it. But when Richard passed away, everything changed. Suddenly, she was back on paper as a co-owner, but in reality, she felt like she had no say in anything. Frustrated and searching for answers, Joanne demanded clarity. But when she felt those answers weren't coming, she took the ultimate step, suing her own son. And buried within those court documents lies a revelation so explosive, it could completely rewrite the Pawn Stars' legacy. This lawsuit isn't just a simple family dispute, it's an all-out legal war, with Joanne making some serious accusations against Rick. She isn't just claiming she was pushed aside, she's alleging that Rick has been mishandling money, hiding financial records, and even misappropriating funds. According to court documents, she says that more than $500,000 in cash and silver, which rightfully belonged to Richard, has mysteriously disappeared without a trace. And that's not the only thing raising red flags. She also wants a deep dive into the shop's finances, questioning whether Rick has been using business funds for personal expenses. To her, something doesn't add up, and she's determined to find out the truth. Rick, on the other hand, isn't taking this lying down.
And they just think I'm a asshole. They think, that guy can't appraise art, but I can.
If Joanne wants a fight, he's more than ready to give her one. He's dismissed the lawsuit as baseless, insisting that he's done absolutely nothing wrong. But he's also hinted that Joanne isn't acting alone. Though he hasn't pointed fingers at anyone specific, he strongly believes someone else is influencing her decision, pushing her to come after him.
I'm sure it's all right, dude. Here, I'll text him.
And the situation keeps getting messier. Joanne is also going after other business entities linked to the Harrison name, including Gold and Silver Pawn Shop LLC, Harrison Properties, and Joic Properties. This means the lawsuit doesn't just threaten Rick's personal finances, it could shake the foundation of the entire Pawn Stars empire. In truth, the fight is dragging on, with no clear resolution in sight, but one thing is obvious, this lawsuit is tearing the family apart.
There, everything will be fine. Don't worry, I'm sure he's not gonna buy it. He doesn't have any money on him.
But he's an idiot.
Rick and Joanne's relationship has gone from one of trust to an all-out courtroom war, and they're not the only ones caught in the middle. Corey and Chumlee haven't spoken publicly about the lawsuit, but there's no doubt it's affecting them too. For years, fans of Pawn Stars saw the Harrisons as a family that worked hard, built something great, and stayed loyal to each other.
This is cool.
Someone should make a movie about us, Rick.
No one's gonna want to see us.
That was the whole appeal of the show, right? Watching them negotiate, make deals, and crack jokes while keeping the business running.
I'll give you $1,000.
I'd let you have them for $1,000, so I take this one out and keep it.
No, that's not happening.
But now, instead of haggling over a rare coin or a vintage car, they're battling it out in court. Then again, maybe it's not all that shocking. Money has a way of turning even the closest families against each other. The Harrisons built an empire, but with that level of success comes problems. And it's not the first time their family drama has played out in public. Back in 2018, Richard Harrison cut one of his sons, Christopher, out of his will entirely. No explanation, no second chances. Just gone. That moment alone was enough to make people question if things were really as picture-perfect as they seemed. As for Joanne's lawsuit, it could go either way. If she wins, it could mean major changes for Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. If Rick comes out on top, he'll walk away with his business intact.
This is a 45 caliber. This is a 45 caliber. It's a 5.5-inch barrel. That's a 5.5-inch barrel. So everything's matching up.
Either way, it's a defining moment for the Pawn Stars' legacy. And to think, before all the fame, Rick Harrison was just a kid with big dreams and a sharp business sense, hustling his way through life. Harrison's family venture in their new city wasn't anything flashy. They opened the Gold and Silver Coin Shop on Las Vegas Boulevard, dealing mostly in coins and small collectibles.
You're not leaving anything on the table. You know who's going to buy it for more?
Not personally, but
maybe 1 out of 1,000 people will spend $50,000 on a collectible something or the other.
Teenage Rick jumped right into the business, working alongside his dad. It didn't take long to realize he had a talent for the trade. He could negotiate like a pro, sniff out a good deal, and flip items for a nice profit.
It looks to me like a solid $50,000.
Wow.
Almost right on the mark.
I might hug you.
Yeah. In that case, it's fake.
By day, he worked at the shop. By night, he repossessed cars to make ends meet. It wasn't glamorous, but it was all part of the grind.
75, 100,000?
Well, I think that's all I need to hear.
All right.
By the late 80s, Rick and his dad saw a bigger opportunity. Vegas had plenty of secondhand stores, but pawn shops? Not so much. The problem was that getting a pawn license in the city was nearly impossible, but Richard wasn't the type to take no for an answer. Every single week, he called city officials, pestering them for an update. For 2 years, he kept at it. Then, in 1988, persistence finally paid off. They got their pawn shop license, and Gold and Silver Pawn Shop was born just a few blocks from the Strip.
Here in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the pawn shop from the TV show Pawn Stars, an American reality TV show on the History Channel.
The early days were tough. The Harrisons had to build their reputation from scratch, grinding every day just to keep the doors open. Rick's deep knowledge of history and antiques gave them an edge, and his dad's years of experience kept everything running smoothly.
Everything he's telling me about this adds up with everything I've read. It's authentic. It's the real thing, and I cannot believe it is sitting in my shop.
Slowly but surely, they carved out their place in Vegas. By the early 2000s, business was thriving, but Rick had even bigger plans. He saw potential. His shop wasn't just a business, it was entertainment. There were rare treasures, high-stakes negotiations, and a family dynamic that could make for great television. He pitched the idea for years, but it wasn't until 2009 that the History Channel finally gave him a shot. And just like that, everything changed. Pawn Stars hit the airwaves and became an instant hit.
We have all the silverware, the flatware, the teapots, the candlesticks. If it goes on the dinner table, it's gonna be back there.
Viewers loved the mix of rare finds, tense haggling, and the back-and-forth banter between Rick, his dad, his son Corey, nicknamed Big Hoss, and their lovable, goofy employee Chumlee. Practically overnight, the Harrisons became household names, and their little Vegas pawn shop turned into a full-blown tourist attraction.
I'm pretty sure you've seen the show on History Channel.
Lines wrapped around the block as fans flocked to the shop just to step inside. With fame came fortune, and with fortune came problems. The pawn shop was pulling in more money than ever before, but success wasn't all it was cracked up to be. But behind the scenes, tensions were brewing. The first real sign that all wasn't well came in 2018 when Richard the Old Man Harrison passed away. Then came the real blow-up. After Richard's passing, his 49% stake in Gold and Silver Pawn Shop went to Joanne, while Rick retained his 51%. On paper, it seemed like business as usual, but Joanne didn't see it that way. She claimed Rick wasn't being transparent, wasn't providing financial records, and might have even been mismanaging money. Tensions escalated to the point where she did the unthinkable. She sued her own son. A mother taking her child to court over the very business their family had built together.
We ain't got a fighting chance in hell with him on there.
You know what? I'm gonna study and answer every single question and show you guys.
And that wasn't the only legal mess Rick found himself in. Around the same time, another lawsuit popped up. A former associate claimed they had played a key role in growing the business and were promised a financial cut that never materialized. Rick's team called it nonsense, but it only added more drama to an already chaotic situation. And it wasn't just Rick dealing with legal trouble. Corey, the laid-back, easygoing one from Pawn Stars, had his own run-ins with the law.
According to the arrest report, an officer noticed a white truck failing to stay in its lane, swerving in and out of the bike lane. The officer making contact with the driver of the truck, which was allegedly Harrison, and found that he smelled like alcohol.
And not just the DUI, back in 2016, he was arrested after a bar fight in Las Vegas. Things got heated, fists flew, and before he knew it, he was being hauled off by the cops. The charges were eventually dropped, but it wasn't exactly great publicity. Then there was his divorce, which had fans speculating about whether it would affect his role in the business. But no one had a rougher legal ride than Chumlee. It was bad. Really bad. He ended up striking a plea deal, avoiding jail, but getting slapped with probation and mandatory counseling. For a while, it looked like that might be the end of Chumlee on Pawn Stars, but against the odds, he managed to bounce back. With everything that's gone down, it begs the question, does all this drama make Pawn Stars feel more real, or is it just reality TV at its finest? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you want me to cover some of the craziest episodes on Pawn Stars, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to check out the next video right here. You won't regret it.